obviously this is what we start the children on, yeah. If you see Inspector Veg, he has like a documentary or some shit. He goes around for like 40 minutes around loads of shops and he's just like, still legal, bro. We're gonna stay at home, wash your hands. But you can still buy Cocoa Pops. Stay at home, wash your hands. But you can still buy Walkers. And it's just, I mean, I'll probably do something of this nature in the future, but I was just going around. It's just like, bro, it's ridiculous. I know it's not that deep yet, but look, I don't want to get cancelled by the World Health Organization and YouTube. But listen to these facts, okay? I'm not denying the virus, yeah. But what I'm saying is, the reason there's a lot more we can do about the virus if obviously we had an immune system, if we had a stronger body. But the reason why we're so weak, yeah, is because this entire shop is polluted. So this whole aisle, everything down this entire aisle is polluted. Now it wouldn't be so bad, yeah, if we didn't start our children on this. So obviously we give them milk, yeah, and the milk often is pasteurized, not so much in the UK, but if you see the environments of how the animals are raised, I'm gonna have to do like a lot of research, more thorough, but I'm confident. Like a lot of stuff come out recently about like some particular orange juice by Coca-Cola, and it was like full of like over hundreds of levels of what was allowed of like toxic substances. But it's like I don't have to, so I'll do the research and I'll make some fuck off documentary about it in the future. But just while I'm at it here, I was just going to the shop to get my mum some poison because she asked for it. But it's intuitional, like I can't, like, it's not how it's supposed to be. So the milk is like, I don't know for certain where everything in this store is derived from, but it's not real. Like, so, of course, because if it was real, it would say organic, but it isn't. Say the milk, they fill the cows of drugs to make them produce milk, and they're packed in warehouses of artificially lit environments. And if you watch the documentaries of how they treat the animals, they all treat it as if it's like acceptable, like they have everything they need. They were like, oh, they have sunlight, they have like a window like that big on like the side of a warehouse. But that you've got to understand, when it's all built on greed and profit, obviously they're going to use the cheapest water for the cows. So they're going to be giving the cows tap water that they fill with chlorine and fluoride, and they're going to be giving them the cheapest grains, cheapest food. When they say like pasture raised, but then grain finished, like that, there's a lot of deception, especially with the healthy food. So we're going to go over it a little bit. So obviously I've been eating this for breakfast every fucking day, and then everyone tells me when I show symptoms of like depression and things, everyone's trying to tell me it ain't real and that. But it's like, obviously these refined sugars and that is causing hyperactivity, and like we're wondering why there's a mental health epidemic and why there's a pandemic. It's like, if we had an immune system, yeah, maybe we'd be able to defend it. But when you start your children on sugar, all of this, you don't understand. Even the stuff that looks good, yeah. What we got? Where's the Cheerios? It's all full of it. Even the shit, yeah, that looks good on the box. So you got to watch out, yeah, because there's a lot of deception. Like if we go to the quote-unquote healthy section, you'll see what I'm speaking. Here we go. Eat natural, yeah? Obviously, you gotta just use your intuition, but I fell for this stuff when I was younger. Eat natural, it's full of shit. This whole thing is just packed of this stuff. Here we go, what we got? Glucose syrup, dark chocolate, sugar, and a lot of it you don't even know what it is. So what you got to watch out for is basically don't, if it's got like a fuck ton of ingredients, stay away. So I think the definition of a whole food is something, of course, it's not comprised of loads of ingredients. So my bird's eye bitches, what was it? How does it go? I can't remember, but just all the how does the lyric go? No long team beans on the hob, straight. Oh, I can't remember. These bird's eye baby mums don't deserve these buggies, they make me sick, because they go buy a whole week shopping in Iceland for like 25 quid. Fizzy sweets and chocolates, no fresh fruit herbs, just processed meals all packed in boxes. So a lot of it looks healthy, yeah, but you really got to do your research because you don't understand how deep it goes. Like, you think bread and wheat is sound, but it really ain't. Like, a lot of the stuff that you assume to be healthy, that they tell you is healthy, like the whole food pyramid is literally a lie, and they teach that to me in school. So I think these are slightly better, yeah. But all of the quote-unquote healthy packaging is just a load of bollocks. So basically, I'm confident that like this whole shop is just polluted from the bottom down. Like, unless you find like a bottle of organic honey, but even that's like got microplastics in it, yeah. Because 11 out of 13 people have plastic in their blood, and then obviously we're wondering why there's so much mental illness, yeah, and why there's a pandemic or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'm not denying that COVID exists, but the illness is created in the body. Check out Dr. Sebi, check out Dr. Robert Morse. It's a bit mud. But don't fear the food. Like, it doesn't matter, so you can eat it, like, because existentially it doesn't really matter. But it's like, it's when people aren't aware of it. Oh, here's a good one. So obviously, when I was younger, man was buying the baked beans, yeah, thinking, oh yeah, get the beans. And then, so look, it just says, what we got, beans. Peng, right? And then I was eating them for ages, and then next to it, eventually I discover beans, no added poison. Well, why do they tell you that there's no poison in it, but they don't tell you when there is poison in it? Shit like this, you know what I mean? Well, like, what the fuck is that? Again, this whole aisle full of pollution, full of saturated fats and oils. We got shit like this, you know what I mean? And then when the inflation's going up, yeah, people have no choice but to resort to food of this quality. And then what this does is it produces so much mucus, your body's trying to remove it, but it backs up because you eat so much of it, and then the insulin and the sugar tells you that you're still hungry, so you overfeed yourself on poison. Because the reason why it's got sugar, mainly a lot of it, is because obviously it tastes better with sugar, and sugar's a drug. So when you get hooked on sugar, try and quit sugar. See how it goes. You don't understand that our entire population is addicted to sugar, and you'll get withdrawals unlike you've ever known. This stuff here, here we go. Uncle Ben's, where is he? Uncle Ben's, bruv, put me in the micrograve, as Inspector Veg calls it. I ate 3 packets of this one day, and I woke up, yeah, something like that, yeah, spicy, some shit. I ate 3 packets of that one day, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and it blocked all my, and I could taste the fucking flavour of it in my face, like it blocked all my sinuses up, and it made me ill for like 2 weeks. So that's what we call a micrograve. Got that from Inspector Veg. So yeah, it's a bit mad, it's because people don't know about it, and then the madder thing is, yeah, is because obviously potentially there's an agenda to keep the people sick, yeah, because shit like this, you know what I mean? They should be permanently discredited, as Inspector Veg speaks. Like, if we were to keep the people weak, obviously this is just a theory, I'm not saying it is the case, but obviously the power will be the power will not be in the people, because how are the people meant to fucking fight, yeah, when the only option is polluted food? Obviously you've got the orange juices, massive scandal coming out right now with some of the orange juices owned by Coca-Cola, full of way above the regulated levels of pollution, fucking crazy chemicals, yeah. This, I know we got chemicals in the food that's So it's turning the men feminine as well. So you got the alkaline food, and then you got all this shit that's all made by man, which is acidic, and this is what causes the mucus, and this is the reason why everyone's ill. This is what they're responsible for the reason why no one can fight the virus. It's because there's sugar in everything. And the only drug we got legal, obviously, we make the natural drugs like psilocybin and magic mushrooms, LSD. This got no toxic dose at all. But then we keep the alcohol, which kills your brain. So it's almost like the poison is promoted because it's everywhere. You see, you got even the produce. Yeah. Basically, what we do is we spray the food with poison, and then we eat it. So there's what we got. Shit like this. It's all covered in preservatives and pesticides. Obviously for greed, and then obviously the water is going to be done on tap water with the fluoride and the chlorine. It's also a lot of GMO. Oranges are bad for it, I've heard. Genetically modified to grow bigger. Like the pineapple, yeah, that ain't meant to look like that. That ain't a real fucking pineapple, mate. That's been made by man to look like some cartoon cute version that looks attractive. So it's difficult to get away from it. And then obviously we've got everything in plastic, so the microplastics going in everything. So basically the whole supermarket is fucked. And if you're trying to really be healthy, the meal deal, obviously, only snack options we got, look. Costa, owned by Coca-Cola. All this shit right by the front door. And it's just like, it's like you can do what you want ultimately, yeah, but it's because people are uneducated about it. And it's like literally from the top to the top to the bottom, the whole place. Because, for example, I used to work in a co-op, and I didn't have transport at the time, yeah. The cooperative supermarket. This shit, yeah, organic, it don't matter. It's full of fucking saturated fats and grease. You don't want it. Plastic tubs, not real food. So when I was working in a co-op, it's more like there's no other option. That's the thing. Shit like this. Again, with the inflation, we have no choice but to resort to feed our children shit. I grew up on this shit. And that's what makes me angry, is because you don't understand that, you know, saying you are what you eat. But it's literally everywhere. So that's what I'm saying it. But it's not only that, it's because the World Health Organization and YouTube's terms of service, they actually kill the information that tries to educate people. Shit like this, I remember eating this shit when I was young. There's just no regulation. And it's all good, yeah, you ain't got to take it that seriously, but when it's causing stuff, when I say that basically, of course, obviously COVID exists, yeah, but the reason why everyone's getting so fucked is because we start our children on sugar. So that's why I'm telling you that, because it's impossible to get away from it. Starch, fake food, none of it's organic. Look into the nature of like the period cycle and the period pains and shit. It's like, it's all, what we're told is natural is not really natural necessarily, not really. Bacon, obviously, still get the bacon in a pandemic, there's no problem with that. Wash your hands, but you can still buy cigarettes. Obviously we fill this shit with drugs, growth hormones, make the shit create more. I think chickens are meant to take 8 months to mature or something, I heard, but then they only take 2 months now. See, because of the greed. So yeah, I don't know what else to say on it. As you can see, it's like the whole thing. COVID killer. I don't need a frozen dinner. Organic kidney beans, of course, but kidney beans were created by man, they're not real. Obviously, there's different levels to it, innit? Like, Like some things aren't that bad, but when you really look deep into it, then you've got to understand all the carrots are fake, and even like obviously you can use your intuition. You ain't got to go fucking batshit about it, but like I still eat the kidney beans in it at the minute. I'm trying my best, but it's just important that you educate. So basically the granola, yeah, like the cereal in the morning, it's basically a dessert. This shit all full of wheat. So you get a general sense of what's deemed healthy, yeah, but you got to look at Dr. Sebi and that, because they'll tell you that this whole place just needs to be written off. A lot of green teas and that, they got heavy metals in them. So I'm confident that I can say basically, so Tesco, the Co-op, Aldi, Lidl, 99% pollution in everything. Oils, rapeseed oil, stay away from them, of course. This is responsible. 11 out of 13 people got plastic in their blood. And we're wondering why. Obviously, everyone's getting sick. We think it's out there. You like the germ theory. You just catch it and get ill, but goes deeper than that. You know, like the illness is created within. We can't defend ourselves because shit like this is deceiving to parents who don't think properly. Fruit shoot, that ain't fucking real fruit. Fuck off. You don't, like, I don't even need to look at it. It's just you just know, because it's Monster Energy. I'm happy they regulate it to an extent, yeah. But yeah, so when I was working at the Co-op, yeah, I can sell that to a 5-year-old child with no regulation at all. If someone wants to buy Rizzlers, I have to ID them. If someone wants to buy paper, yeah, I have to ID them. But if a child, don't matter how old, it could literally be a baby or a pregnant lady, I cannot refuse to sell them Lucozade, and it makes me frustrated. This shit, obviously, mucus galore. Obviously. So yeah, I don't know what else there is to say really. It just goes on, don't it? Don't eat it. Don't eat that shit. Don't eat that garbage. Yeah, well, I need to find my mum some poison anyway, so I better hurry up, because instead I just done a 20-minute live stream on Tesco and walked around and said everything was poison. So, but that's all. That's it. I mean, it's facts, bruv. You want to be a victim to the germs? It's just because you don't have an immune system in it. But the thing is, it's not that bad. Yeah, it's just because people say they don't care about that. Thank you.
That's all right.
They don't care about health education, yeah, but then they complain when they get ill. It's not normal to get sick. People think you're to just get an illness like the common cold. It's not like that. You're just your body failing. And the reason why you get full of mucus when you got a cold, it's because your body's trying to expel the mucus. When you start crying, you get full of mucus. Mucus is your body trying to remove the toxins. Because the bird's eye baby mums obviously can't be asked to make dinner, so they have kids on a whim, yeah, in a poor household, and then they start feeding them fucking rapeseed oil for breakfast, deep fried. You get me? So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go now anyway. I'm done. But leave that junk on the shelf, motherfucker. I'll have to find. Obviously, you got to find the organic farms in the greenhouse, and we got the chemtrails as well. Spraying shit all over it, spraying the poison, wash it off, but the tap water's covered and got fluoride and chlorine in it obviously, and you can't wash it off because it was sprayed on there since day one. So yeah, just be wary. Alright, I'm out. I'll make like an actual full-fledged fucking thing in the future, but that's it for now. And again, the reason I say it is because so many people are suffering with so many diseases, but the root of all of these mostly is mucus. And I'm not an expert, I just know because I've been on it for years now, and it's clear, and a lot of it's just intuitional. So yes, when people are suffering about it, they don't want to hear about the food, yeah. They don't want to hear about the food, but then they want us to hear about their complaints when they're suffering. The whole world's on this, yeah. They demonize me for the psychedelics. Psychedelics literally regrow your brain. The opposite of what this shit does. This shit kills your brain. Go ahead, do it. Alan Watts drinks this shit. That's fine, if you're okay with that. But understand what you're setting yourself up for, because this is the thing. People don't understand the... Here we go. Oh, this is my favourite one, actually. Is it organic? Where's the organic one? Oh, is it not here? Right, if you find the organic version of this fucking peanut butter, yeah, it says organic on the front, and then you turn it around and it says with approved non-organic ingredients. So that's what I'm saying. It's like they deceive you to fucking make you buy it, and there's no regulation on this shit. You'll be surprised what you find out. Just do the research on it. Canned shit filled with preservatives. I don't know. I don't need to say any more, innit? Alright, peace out. My name's OXSN, OXSN. You can find me on rumble.com/user lowercase / OXSN uppercase. Peace Nation.